Have you ever had a dream so big that it felt impossible? Joseph did. Joseph was the son of Jacob, and he was deeply loved by his father. Jacob gave Joseph a beautiful, multicolored robe, a symbol of favor, but that special love stirred jealousy in Joseph's brothers. Joseph also had dreams. In one dream, his brothers' sheaves of grain bowed down to his. In another, the sun, moon, and stars bowed before him. Joseph didn't yet understand the weight of these dreams, but his brothers did. They became angry, bitter, and resentful. One day, while Joseph was sent to check on them in the fields, his brothers saw an opportunity. They stripped him of his robe. They threw him into a pit, and instead of killing him, they sold him to traders traveling to Egypt. Joseph's dreams seemed shattered. He was taken far from home, far from family, and sold as a slave. But even in betrayal, God was still with Joseph. In Egypt, Joseph was sold to a man named Potiphar, an official of Pharaoh. Though Joseph had lost everything, he did not lose his faith. Joseph worked hard. He was honest. He was trustworthy. And the Bible tells us something important. The Lord was with Joseph, and he prospered. Potiphar noticed and placed Joseph in charge of his entire household. But Joseph's integrity was tested. Potiphar's wife falsely accused him of wrongdoing. Though Joseph had done nothing wrong, he was thrown into prison. Once again, faithfulness seemed to lead to suffering. In prison, Joseph could have given up, but he didn't. He served others. He remained faithful, and God was still with him. Joseph soon gained responsibility, even in prison. There, he met Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker, who each had troubling dreams. God gave Joseph the ability to interpret those dreams, and they came true exactly as he said. Joseph asked only one thing: "Remember me." But years passed, and Joseph was forgotten. Then one night, Pharaoh himself had dreams no one could explain. 7 healthy cows eaten by 7 thin ones, 7 full heads of grain swallowed by thin ones. Suddenly, the cupbearer remembered Joseph. Joseph was brought from prison, cleaned, and stood before Pharaoh. Joseph made one thing clear: "I cannot interpret dreams, but God can." God revealed the meaning. 7 years of abundance would be followed by 7 years of famine. Joseph also gave wise advice: store food during the good years. Pharaoh was amazed. That very day, Joseph was elevated from prisoner to second in command over all Egypt, from prison to palace. Joseph oversaw preparations that saved nations from starvation, including his own family. When Joseph's brothers came seeking food, they did not recognize him, but Joseph recognized them. After testing their hearts, Joseph revealed who he was. Instead of revenge, Joseph chose forgiveness. He said one of the most powerful lines in Scripture: "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." Joseph embraced his family, and through him, God preserved the nation of Israel. Joseph's story reminds us, God's plans are bigger than our pain. Delay does not mean denial, and what others intend for harm, God can use for good. Joseph stayed faithful in the pit, faithful in slavery, faithful in prison, and in God's perfect time, he was lifted up. If you're walking through a season that feels unfair, remember Joseph. God is working behind the scenes, and your story isn't over yet. If this story encouraged you, share it with someone who needs hope today, and remember, God can take you from the pit to the palace in his perfect time.